Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's so serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Yes. We are here. Thank you, Jalen. Thank you for that warm welcome. Oh my goodness. Based on the clothing, we're looking a little warm. Chrisette has a sweater. I've got kind of a sweater on. Katrina has sleeves on. That means she's in Chicago, Chi-Town. She's made the journey from West Coast to the Midwest. We got issues with Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria. Gloria's not here. If she doesn't get her butt back, somebody's going to take her place. Somebody's going to take her place. You know,
take an application.
She's out there making a difference in the world. And so we love that we always have each other's back because we are always on the go. But we love being here with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on We Got Issues. Thank you to our tribe. Tag a girlfriend because the show is going to be juicy today, baby. Juicy, juicy, juicy. We got a lot of to talk about, and we're talking about it all, y'all. Lots in the news. It is a thankful Tuesday. So much to be thankful for. I mean, I just look around. We look around. We hear the news. It's so much going on, you guys. I don't even know where to start. But just know that the main topic will be Herschel Walker. Yes, we are talking about Herschel Walker. Pro-life, pro-choice. Bruh, who are you? Who are you? We're going to dig into it, see what it's all about. We want you to call us at 313-778-7600 to hear your take on the Georgia GOP Senate candidate. He is neck and neck with Raphael Warnock. Is that his name? Right. His first name is Raphael, right? Raphael Warnock. And we want to know if, you know, the news that broke yesterday, if it's going to make a difference to the voters. Do they care? What we've seen is sometimes they know it all, but if that's their party, they stick with the party no matter what. So we're going to talk about it. Lots going on. Continuous prayers for the Floridians who each day we are seeing more and more death, more and more destruction. Hey, Casey, where my girls at? 3 of the 4 are here, and we're excited about it. Yes. Euclid, Ohio is in the house. And so, type a name in the chat. Hey, Carla, tell us where you're calling from. Hey, Alicia Maxie Green. We love it when you guys tell us you're in the house and you're in the know. And we really love it when you call in. And so lots going on. My goodness, Trump, he asked the Supreme Court to intervene in the Mar-a-Lago case. And the letter started out, Dear Honorable Clarence Thomas, spoke directly to Clarence Thomas. Okay. I mean, favor, my goodness. And he filed a $475 million lawsuit against CNN yesterday. So when I tell you that brother is trying to change the narrative, he's changing everybody, the narrative. Brother. There's a lot of heat out there. Katrina, how are you? Chrisette, how are you? What's going on in your world?
Well, I was just saying, you calling everybody a brother. Herschel a brother. Trump a brother.
Because I got to call him that before I call him something else. So that's
okay.
Just the best thing that could roll off my mind.
Brother.
My mind right now. You in Jersey. Yes, in the house.
Oh my gosh, Chicago. I love this city. It is so beautiful. The weather is perfect today. It is absolutely perfect. And I'm excited to be here for a few days. But I will tell you, I don't know when they started having flights. Now, there have been 6 a.m. flights for a long time, 6 a.m., 6:30, but our flight left at 5:20 or 5:30. That's like extra early. So basically, I have not been to sleep because we had to get up at 2 to go to the airport. Like, who
Yeah.
does that? It's very interesting. The plane is packed.
Yeah,
And
lots of
so
people
it's
in
just
the airport
clear.
at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like 4 o'clock in the
Yes.
afternoon.
I mean, our choices, Anthony said, well, you didn't want a red eye because you don't like the red eyes. I was like, I'm too old for the red eyes. Let's ease back on the red eyes. But basically, unless you want to be in major traffic coming into San Francisco and major traffic coming into Chicago, you got to either fly and be on the 11:30 p.m. flight or the 5:30 a.m. flight. Like, let's get back
Wow.
to regular travel times. Now, the good thing was, there was zero traffic going to the airport and zero traffic when we got to Chicago, because that could add an extra 4 hours onto your travel day. But when I tell you, it's rough because
Travel
we
is
it don't matter
different.
what
Travel is very different now.
and ain't no food. You know, the folks in San Francisco were on strike, all of the food workers, but it didn't matter because I think they're off strike now, but there's no food, period. Lounge, no lounge. You better bring a snack on a 5:30 a.m. flight. So needless to say, a sister I'm really your sister. Tired. T-I-D, tired. Dad used to say.
Okay.
I'm just glad you're safe and
My
sound
old boy.
because we're hearing planes domestically are taking off and then coming back because there's flames coming out the engine. There are all kind of things going on. Honestly, you guys, what is going on with air travel right now? I just am
Well,
very concerned. Go ahead, Chrisette.
yeah, so couple of things. You guys know when I signed up for Clear, I was super excited because I was like, yeah, to be able to go to the airport and go through, especially when you had Clear and you were TSA approved. Well, I promise you, when I went to Atlanta, I meant to bring this up before this. When I went to Atlanta, coming back from Atlanta, my sister-in-law, she was Clear, but she wasn't TSA approved. So, she had to go one way for Clear and I went the other way. When I tell you I was in that line, she beat me, okay, to the train. The line that I was in, Clear didn't really help at all. And I said, whether I think more people are signing up for it, I thought the TSA would help because normally when you have both, you go through a lot faster. But I promise you, it took me longer to get through the line, which I was a little bit I wasn't upset, but I was just disappointed because, I've become so accustomed to Clear getting me lickety split through the lines that I'm like, oh, I don't know. So the only other thing that they were doing this time, and I don't know if you've heard of it, is the face recognition. So if I had signed up for face recognition on Delta, there was someone in the line, one of the agents saying, hey, if you have face recognition, they were going through the line just like that. So it's like, you know what? Next time it's going to be, let's swab your mouth for DNA and you can go straight to the plane. So I don't know where they stop or where they go, but this is in the news that the federal aviation officials plan to announce a new rule saying that flight attendants will get more mandated rest time between flights. They say that these flight attendants are overworked. Some of them are overwhelmed. They've been working 14 hours. And so now the FAA is mandating that in most cases, an airline provides a flight attendant a 9-hour rest period before being on duty for another set of 14 hours or less. So, you know what? Kudos to the FAA because, again, being a flight attendant is not the easiest job in the world. And during COVID, fights were breaking out. They were getting hurt. They were getting beat up and all of that. So, I am glad that that's a win for the flight attendants. So that was something that I think was probably, if you talk to flight attendants, they would say that was well overdue. The last thing I want to say is, you guys, Sunday, my church, we rented out a theater and we saw The Woman King. I know Katrina has told us, you got to see it. You got to see it. And when I tell you, I know Sabrina, Katrina, both of you saw it before me. That movie was fantastic from beginning to the end. And I really want to do some of the history to find out, the backstory, because I know a lot of it was true. So I really want to read up. And I just thought, sitting there watching that, saying, here I am in my 50s, and I had never known anything about that. And that is something that's so important, so amazing, that you would think, that our school system would have told us something about it. And had it not been for the movie, I could have gone to my grave and never knew that these female warriors did all that they did, during the time where, the Europeans were coming and taking slaves back to America. So that movie was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, kudos for Greta Grace renting out the entire theater. That is so awesome. Congratulations. Thanks for doing so good in the community, giving your congregation and people in the community that opportunity. That is really wonderful, Chrisette. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We love the movie. Go see the movie. Take somebody to the movie. Go to see the movie again. And it better win some awards. Okay? I'm talking some
Come
Academy
on.
Awards. Okay? Let's go.
At the producer level too. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you guys, it's cheaper to keep her, I would think, but I see where Tom Brady and Giselle are divorcing. Papers were filed. It's just unfortunate, but I don't know. What are your thoughts? And Tia Mowry today announced that after 14 years of marriage, 11-year-old, a 4-year-old, they're getting a divorce. So families, it's tough. Marriage is hard. Marriage takes work. It's not easy. Yeah. Somebody said Giselle was mad that he didn't retire. I thought so too, Casey. I was like, the brother said he was the brother. Everybody's a brother, but the boy said, the man said he was retiring. And then he says, no, she had already got settled thinking her husband was going to be home. They were going to go on to their next, and he can't give it up. Can't give it up.
And you know what else, Sabrina, Chuck and I were talking about that. And when he retired the first time, he said, I want to spend more time with my family, more time with my kids, being able to do some of the things I haven't been able to do, spend more time with my wife and all of that. And then Chuck said, the comedians had a field day when he came out of retirement, because they were like, he was at home for less than 4 weeks. And he said, I can't do it. I got to go back to football. So, when you're living, in the public eye, and, it's just difficult. But I can only imagine, if you make the statement that I'm going because I've missed this for my kids, I've missed that for my kids, and then you go back to football when they have, let's be clear, we always see the superstardom and everybody, he's the greatest, he's this, but everything, just like when I went to that Motown and they talked about the Temptation, he opened up the show saying, you see the stardom, but everything comes with a price. You're going to pay a price. And it's sad that maybe the price is they're getting divorced.
Listen to this in the article where it said that, are we going to break? Okay.
Yep. We'll come back. Lots to talk about, you guys. Lots to talk about. We are going to get to Herschel Walker and his stance on abortion. He says he is pro-life, but they say that he paid for his girlfriend's abortion. We'll be right back. We got issues. Herschel Walker got big issues. Everybody got issues. Oh my goodness. That's why we talk about it. 313-778-7600. Each one of these girlfriends got issues. That's why we come to talk about them. We'll be right back. We're back. We're back. Yes. Thank you for joining. We got issues. 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. Oh, it's the oldest African-American radio station in the state of Michigan. Heritage, legacy, history. Support 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. We're grateful for our board operator today, Jalen. Thank you, Jalen, for all that you do. Yes, Jalen. Absolutely. Buck, let's go to the phone lines. Call us, you guys, 313-778-7600. Buck, are you there?
We recently had a Black Congressional Congress conference in which they invited a lot of talking heads on radio, black radio, to the conference. And it reads like a book. All of these talking heads that be on the radio, they came back to their stations talking about black men are against black women. And I said, well, where did that come from? I don't see that in my personal life. But the women with issues, y'all women, I love y'all show. I want to personally ask y'all, because y'all some prestigious women, y'all see brothers downplaying y'all because of y'all success? Is brothers hating on y'all because y'all success? Do you think there is a problem with black men against black women? Because I think this is a narrative that they're trying to push on us, like in the East Coast, West Coast war. Remember that with Biggie and Tupac? Biggie, I said it was a war. But the media kept perpetuating it until people started believing it, right? And now I'm telling y'all, you would be surprised how many shows that are heard come out with this black men are against black women. And I think, where did that come from? In my life, I don't know no black man that's against a black woman for her success. I got 5 sisters, and I love how successful they are. I help them be successful any way I can. And I want to question, because I want to debunk this narrative. But I want to ask more, because y'all are successful. Do y'all think black men are hating on y'all because of your success? And y'all women would be the best to tell us, because y'all are successful in your lives. But I want to know, is that the case with y'all?
Yeah, that's good, Buck. We thank you for calling this brother and joining us. That's a whole show all day.
We'll respond to you. Thank you, Buck, for calling and creating this conversation. Thank you so much. Katrina, you want to go first?
Wow, I love the fact that that he called in and gave his perspective, and I will personally say I definitely agree. I receive nothing but love from the black men that are in my circle, that are around in my family. Started with my daddy, didn't have brothers, but people I have in my life that are like brothers. Thank God for a husband. And I do believe that there is a narrative. I've been privy to that conversation, and I won't say that. I will say that I do know some women that would pipe in that perhaps are in a corporate situation, or even women that have been in a dating situation and have felt it being challenging in that dating situation to date someone. Let's just keep it real. And a lot of women, from their perspective, we even look at our new Supreme Court justice, and we were asking the question, why do all of them have husbands that are not African American? And that doesn't mean that the Supreme Court justice would feel that way. It could also just mean as a result of who was in her circle as she was rising to the ranks. So I'm not putting her in this conversation at all. But I think there's always validity to making sure that our African American men and women feel valued, because when you lack value in yourself, it is easy to hate. And that does exist in certain segments of our society. That's just real. And unfortunately, when you listen to the music that a lot of folks listen to, not in our world, but when you turn on some of that music, some of those songs are very degrading of Black women. Mm-hmm. So for us to act like it doesn't exist at all, it's not in my world, but it is definitely an issue that we can talk about in the Black community.
Absolutely. Chrisette.
I would, and again,
Chris,
thank you,
can't
Buck,
hear you, Chris. No audio.
Okay, thank you, Buck, for calling in with that question. That's a very good question. It is absolutely a show. I would say the women that I know, my husband, with the success that I've had, he's not hated on me for it. I don't feel that I have to dumb down, for him because of my success. But I will say, in some of the conversations that I've heard Black women say, it's not always just the fact that, you got to be careful if you have a certain level of success, because, it may be hard to find a Black man that can deal with your success. A lot of times the conversation goes, Black men who are successful won't look at Black women, but rather they are looking at white women. So that's another part of the conversation, is not just Black women being more successful, but a lot of times it's successful Black men that are choosing not to date or not to marry African American women. So I know that's not exactly the same thing that you were saying, but I do believe that, some of that exists, where men that see women who are successful choose not to date them or marry them because they may be a little envious or jealous or can't deal with success. Absolutely. But that isn't the reality that I'm living in. And many of the women that I know is not their reality, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with what Katrina and Chrisette have stated. But you ask us personally if we deal with that. And I'm just so blessed, so grateful. I've been married almost 30 years, and my husband never, ever gave me a problem with climbing for success, working hard. He is a goal setter, a go-getter. We encourage one another. And quite honestly, I guess it wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't work for me. And so if you've got somebody hating on you for trying to do better in all areas of life, that is a problem. But we do know that it exists. I mentor a lot of women on a daily basis, and I hear them saying they have to quit their business. They can't do X, Y, and Z. They can't travel because of a mate that doesn't want them to go, don't want them to fly, clipping their wings one way or another. So buckets out there, but we're fighting the good fight. We're keeping hope alive. And we want our sisters to continue to know that good love, real love, there's no jealousy or envy. And so don't settle. Don't stay in a situation where you think that's what you have to accept, because you don't. You absolutely don't. Buck, thank you for bringing that up. You guys, let's move to the topic at hand. Herschel Walker, GOP candidate, Senate, Georgia. Oh, we got a caller, Denise. Denise, we want to get to our callers, y'all, before we go to Herschel. We're going to get to Herschel. Denise, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you for taking my call, and I'm loving the conversation. And it's funny, I'm on both ends of the stick. I was married, and my husband and I kind of encouraged him to go into business, and I did the business. So we ran two businesses. And it was interesting that while supporting him in his business, he was always staring me down in mine. This is not going to work, that's not going to work. And so I was in that type of marriage where I think my former husband was jealous of my success, even though I was helping him to be successful. And it got to the point where I ended up divorcing him because, he had his success and he moved me out of the business that I kind of formed for him and got it going. Wow. And now, so there are some men that are, who have a lot of low self-esteem in themselves. But, and again, his religion was Muslim. So I don't know if he had with this mindset of a Muslim man, even though he was benefiting from me running both of the businesses. Now that I'm single, there is an issue. There is a degree of anger that I feel out here with Black men because I'm single now and I'm looking for a partner. And I'm just watching men, how men interact with each other. It's very negative. They don't speak. They look at each other mean. But when you, as a single woman, they don't even open their door to you. They'll just let the door close right in front of you. They don't look at women like they used to with admiration. They don't even try to flirt. Yeah. So I see that and I'm looking for a partner, and I'm just watching how men interact with each other. But I think a lot of it has to do with the self-hatred. Not a lot of us carry, and Black men still walk with that self-hatred towards another brother. And it's very, very noticeable to me. But again, I think that a lot of men, and this is not being negative towards women, but I know that women, we set the standard. And when I watch men watch women now, you don't even want to look at them because a lot of the young women, their dress is so evocative, and they're not really taking care of themselves very well, so they don't look very well kept. So I watch that. So I'm watching the men watch these women, and they don't even look twice with women anymore. They don't kind of flirt with you anymore. But the men That's our music. That's our music. Thank you so much for calling in, you know?
Will find you, continue to keep hope alive. We never want to generalize men as a whole. We know there are some good ones out there who will still open the door, who will still look at you and compliment you. But we want our men to do a better job in that area for sure. Denise, we got to run to a commercial break. We got to pay some bills. Thank you for calling. We Got Issues. 313-778-7600. We'll be right back. We're back. We're jumping right in. 9-10 a.m. Superstation. We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship, Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria. Let's go to the phone lines, you guys. The phones are hot today. We love when our callers call in. Next up, who do we have on the call?
Hello, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Great. I want to have the pleasure of calling you to the show today. What's your name?
This is Yusuf.
Hey, Yusuf. What's on your mind today?
I had this call in. I was in my car on my way home, and I heard this young lady experience with this husband, former husband of hers, was helped them going to business. And so she stated that he was Muslim. Man, that's definitely not Islam.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we thank you for that. We thank you for that feedback. Because your point is, are you Islam?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so you're saying that you support the woman, that's just not who you are.
Wholeheartedly support the woman.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, well, we thank you. We thank you for calling in. We really do. You matter. You add value to the show. Is there anything else you want to say before we go to the next caller?
The last prophet of God that was sealed to the prophecy that exposed us to this being by the grace of God. He worked before he was chosen to be the prophet of God. He worked for his wife. His wife could be. He worked for her.
Okay, awesome. Well, we appreciate your comments. Thank you for calling. We got issues. Call us anytime, 313-778-7600. Thank you. I think we have another caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am, ladies. How are you? Good evening. This is Grace.
Hey, Grace.
In my circles, this is not a thing. I think it's being put out there to divide. The black man is truly understanding what the opportunities are for the black woman right now. It's being put out there, and the more we talk about it, the more it takes off with fluid and power within this whole. It's just wow to me. I don't know what circles that talks about it, and I'm in different types of circles. Our men are very supportive of what their women doing. These are the women that bear their children and raising their kids. Our men are not beating up on our black women. I'm just not quite understanding it, but this is the point to me to divide. It really, really is. But I'm going to tell you, what is painted out there and really paraded in front of our black men, the vice president, the new Supreme Court justice, these are the nominees that were going for that particular job. All of them with white husbands. Well, this is being put out there. We don't control that outlet. We clearly don't. And you ladies know that. So this platform that's being talked about or shown to us, even the commercials, they have commercials about bowel movement and on the couch his stomach is cramping, but yeah, the white man is cramping and the black woman is looking at him. I'm not even getting that. How do you relate that to a regular family? But this is what they're putting out there. You ladies know it. This is how they're painting it out, and everything is so interracial and biracial, and it's all cookies and cream. No, it ain't. It is not. I would never say. I have to disagree when you say that our black men are not hitting our black women, and they're domestic violence monkeys. 1 out of 10. No, I didn't say hitting. I didn't say hitting. I didn't say that. Beating. You said beating? No. I don't even remember. I didn't say that. Because clearly I know that happened. I would never ever put anything out there that was close to that about the violence part of it. Absolutely not. No. I don't quite remember what the conversation, whatever I said related to that particular word, but I did not say that. Oh, wait, no. Listen back to the show. You said we are replayers. We keep the show up. Nope. I didn't say anything about beating. I didn't say anything about beating. No. Okay, maybe I misheard. No. I said correctly because I did not hear you correctly. But that's what I heard. And so it was a black. Well, I'm going to say that I respect you, and that is nothing I did say. It may have been like a word, but I did not say that. I would never put it. And I know one of you ladies on the panel that she went through a relationship that was abusive. She said that on the air. Her and I had that conversation. I would never do that. I would never do that. Okay, that's not. Yeah, I wouldn't go. But I'm very, very quickly. I'm going to clean this up. we have to have the conversations outside of that media platform, and we bring our people in and sit at the table, because there is something being put out there against us. It's not what you're feeling. I will never choose anything but the mellow-skinned black man. That's all I want. Really. Really. Listen, there ain't nothing better than him. Okay? Dirty, clean, really.
I hear all of that. You down with the ground. Ain't nothing else happening. I hear you. Thank you for calling, Grace. We gotta go. You always value. Thank you for calling me. Catch up soon. Thanks, Grace. All right, you guys.
You know what? Thank you, callers, for calling in. You always give us food for thought. Let's move to Herschel Walker, you guys. Let's move to Herschel Walker. Girls, I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's all over the news. Herschel Walker, the football legend, now running for Senate in Georgia, says he wants to completely, this has been his platform, wants to completely ban abortion, likening it to murder, and claiming there should be no exception for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. He has been stated, he has stated that tough times make tough people. So no exception. He is pro-life. But now it's been reported by the Daily Beast that he paid for the abortion for a girlfriend. His son has come out, who is a conservative influencer, usually very much on his dad's side, but he said enough is enough. My dad is a liar. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. And we told him not to run because truth would come out, and he has decided to run anyway. So the hypocrisy for me is troubling. Mm-hmm. It really is. I mean, you can change your stance. We've all been through something. But my thing is, you're running for public office. Be who you say you are. Be who you say you are. Girlfriends, what are your thoughts?
It's double hypocrisy, because now he's saying that her receipts are a lie. The card that he wrote her is a lie. She has 3 or 4 things that tie it directly to him. And he's saying that's a lie. So I'm not saying that there's never in the history of man been somebody who fabricated a story that sounded real good, but this does not appear to be that, okay? She got multiple receipts. So now you're lying on top of a lie, on top of a lie. So what else are you lying about?
Yeah. All I can say is
Chris, we got a caller. Chris, we got a caller. Okay. Let's hit Jane. Okay. We love it when the phones are hot and popping. Jane, we hope you're still there. Are you there?
Oh God, turn your radio down.
Jane, can you turn your radio down? Hello? Hey, are you there, Jane? Yes, I'm here. Yes, hi. Yeah, I'm enjoying your show. I just have 2 things to say. First thing is the lady you call about beating her husband. She keeps beating the men, beating the women. She did say that. I don't know what she's talking to, because I realize it, but she did say, I heard her say that. That the black men don't beat the women. But another thing I wanted to say was that Herschel Walker has been controversial from even when he was playing football. He's been a womanizer, and if people just look back at his history, they will be able to see that this is nothing new what's going around about him and the 4 different women he's had. And he's close with the other candidate, and I'm just hoping and praying that he does not see. I think he's got 41. Is the other candidate, I can't think his name now, that's 46 or 49, so it's kind of close. So get out and vote and make sure that they get in there. That's it, and that is it. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you. We appreciate your input. That's it, you guys.
Dang it, we're here for another break. The show some days is just not long enough. There's the music. You're listening to We Got Issues with the girlfriends, Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria. 30 years plus of friendship, 100 years of collective marriages. We will be right back. Thank you for tuning in. We're back. We're back, and we're going to talk fast because our time is running out. Yes, yes, yes. So we're talking Herschel Walker, the GOP candidate for the Senate seat in Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Voters get out. What we do know is that that party, no matter what, they will vote their party. It just doesn't seem to matter sometimes. And so, Chrisette, what are your thoughts?
Well, what I was going to say is, Dr. Martin Luther King said, truth crushed to the ground is going to rise. And I believe that the truth will come out. But what you just said is certainly true, that I think that the line has been drawn in the sand. And just like with that Access Hollywood tape, when it came out, when Trump was running for office, and everybody was like, yes, we know that's going to prevent him. His numbers are going to go down. There's no way that he's going to be the president after that Access Hollywood tape came out. And we know that President Trump served 4 years in office as our president. That tape did absolutely nothing to stop him from winning the election. So, you know what? I don't know what else could come out. I mean, I remember being in Atlanta And, you know, while I was there for Women Thou Art Loose, I was watching all of the commercials for the various offices in Atlanta. And they ran one that talked about that had one of his ex-wives, you know, saying that he beat her and held a gun to her head. And, you know, just talking about that was his character. And we know people change. But again, I totally believe in change, but I believe sometimes, you know, that there are certain offices that, you know, maybe you shouldn't run for if you have so much baggage, right? We know people get put out of office when they find out that they, you know, I don't want to say slipped up and said the N word, but they said some racist things. And so there are times where, yeah, you can change, but you are still going to be held to a higher standard, and you're still going to have to pay the price for the things that you've done. So me personally, I don't think Sabrina, Katrina, is going to make a big difference to those who are already saying, if Trump support him, I don't care if he had 5 girlfriends that had an abortion, we're still going to hit and we're going to vote for him, because if President Trump thinks he's good enough, then we think he's good enough. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen.
It's a sad situation. It's a sad situation. And, you know, let's just say there's probably some other people that have been in that same situation, that have spoken out publicly against abortion, but have had a mistress or a girlfriend. And so even some of those voters, it's just unfortunate. And you add the layer, we have been talking about Black men, but you add that layer on top of it, that it's just, it's a whole, to me, it's classic Uncle Tom. He is not the quality of candidate that either party.
Say that again. Say that again.
He aligned with my beliefs and my desires. He would not be the candidate I would vote for. I mean, he said, "I'm not that smart." His own quote. It's just, he got issues in all the boxes that I would want someone to have when they step into an office as a senator.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, check out a couple of the tweets. His son is a trip all by himself to me. But Christian Walker says, every family member of Herschel Walker asked him not to run for office because we all knew some of his past. Every single one. He decided to give us the middle finger and air out all of his dirty laundry in public while simultaneously lying about it. His son says, "I'm done." He also says, "I know my mom and I would really appreciate it if my father, Herschel Walker, stopped lying and making a mockery of us. You're not a family man. When you left us to bang a bunch of women, threatened to kill us, and had us move over 6 times in 6 months running from violence." And then he says, "I don't care about someone who has a bad past and takes accountability, but how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral Christian, upright man. You've lived a lie of destroying other people's lives. How dare you?" The pain, the hurt, the disgust from a family member who now wants to represent a state.
Wow. That's deep. I mean, it's one thing to come from outsiders, to come from the opposing party, to say those kind of things. I mean, if you read that and you didn't say it was his son, I would be like, okay, you know, that's just a hater. But to me, it's so damaging when it comes from those who are closest to you, because at the end of the day, your family know you. They know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I mean, for him to have been pushed to that point where he's like, you know what? I just can't take it anymore. I gotta speak out. That means that he's been pushing a lot of buttons and he's tried his best to remain silent, but it actually got to the point, the straw that broke the camel's back, broke the son's back this time. Okay.
And it would be different if he hadn't supported him at all. You know, like if he had just been a strike his whole life. That's not the case. So that just makes you want to believe what he's saying that much more.
Yeah.
I mean, why would your son? Right. I could even see if you said his son was a liberal, his son was a Democrat, and the Democrats were. And why is it that every time somebody comes out against a Republican, they say that the Democrats paid them off, or they are Democrat, just like all of those that are coming out, you know, that were in office with Trump, and they're testifying, oh, you know, no, why is it the Democrats that have become the bad party when people in their own party come out against, you know, one of their own? And so, you know, his son is not a Democrat, right? His son is a conservative, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it supported his dad in a lot of different ways, but he just said he's had it now. Now, of course, Herschel Walker is saying this is a smear campaign. He is vehemently denying any of these allegations. I mean, the girl got receipts. She's presenting receipts. The Daily Beast did thorough reporting, but Herschel Walker is like, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. And that's his story, and he's sticking to it. Well, my friends, that's the music. It was a wonderful show. We talked about a lot, and there's more to talk about. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. We got issues. Thank you for joining us, tribe. You can find us on Roku, iHeartRadio, www.theforceoffriendship.com. Become part of our tribe. We got some exciting things in the works. We'll be tomorrow, right here, same place. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.